Everyone wants more money, but most of us weren't taught how to create an abundant life. That's where the More Money Show comes in. If you're ready to have more money, create more freedom, and experience more fun, turn the volume up. It's time to learn how to create the prosperity and life you have been dreaming of. Here's your host, Cassie Parks.
Hello and welcome to this episode of the More Money Show. I'm here with Lynn Owens, super fabulous woman, lifestyle support coach. She supports people in getting to their dreams. She is also a former client of mine, and I'm excited to talk to her about going from frustrated to fabulous. Welcome, Lynn.
Hi, Cassie.
Hi, how are you today?
Absolutely amazing.
I love it. And you're glowing. Like Lynn always has this glow around her.
Thank you.
So perfect. Oh, you are welcome. It's true. I'm so excited to talk to you today. So I always like to start here. So where were you before we met, before we started working together? Kind of what was going on in your life and what had been going on?
Okay, so I had tried everything to manifest time freedom, financial freedom, and just the lifestyle of my dreams. When I say everything, I mean everything from MLMs, okay? I had chased MLM opportunities. I had sold everything from Mary Kay to digital franchises on the internet. I'd stayed up all night looking for the perfect job. I had gone to all these opportunity meetings, and I was chasing. I was truly in chase mode and not open. I was physically tired. I'd had some major health issues, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And I really believe now, looking back, that all of my chasing and being tired and not loving myself led to many of the health issues that I experienced because I wasn't loving me.
Yeah.
Okay? Not at all.
Mm-hmm.
So I was in chase mode. I was literally like a cat chasing its tail, looking for time freedom, the perfect job for me, the financial freedom. I was just chasing everything.
Yeah.
And if you think of a cat chasing its tail, where does it go? Around in circles.
Yes. I love that you give that visual, as it's so true. And, really it's a great visual because a cat is chasing its tail, which is like the same thing over and over again. And as human beings, we do it a little bit differently because it's like, I'm going to chase this thing, but it's the same thing, right? It's like this MLM, this job, this, that. It's the same thing. We're just chasing, but it looks different.
It looks different, but it doesn't feel different.
Mm-hmm.
I tortured myself, okay? It was self-inflicted self-torture. And I just kept thinking, well, I'm going to torture myself for the next 3 months and do this. And once I get here, it'll be so grand. But looking back on it, that self-inflicted self-torture was not the mindset. That wasn't the place of manifestation. So what did I manifest? More self-torture. More feeling bad, more physically, just worn out. And even though I looked like I had it all together, I was emotionally a wreck. I was physically so tired that if I sat down, I would go to sleep. I mean, I was just a wreck. I was tired. But it was all the chase that I was doing.
Yes. A chase is, and it's so, I love that you bring up that physical tired because I don't think people realize how much of their people that are trying to use the law of attraction, right? You were trying to use the law of attraction. This wasn't new concept to you. You were trying to use your mindset. You're trying to create the life you wanted, right?
Right.
You'd heard about it. It wasn't a new thing.
It wasn't a new thing, but I didn't understand how to do it. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
I didn't understand about energy. I just thought, you know what? If I think about it enough and chase this, I'll get it. But it really doesn't work that way.
Right.
It really doesn't.
No. And that leads to this physical exhaustion. And I'm glad you connected it to like your physical health, because I think
Right.
there's a lot of people who can relate. It's that exhaustion creates breakdowns in our body.
Right. And not only does it create breakdowns, it causes all sorts of, major health issues, high blood pressure, you're not taking care of yourself, and, thyroid disease, and just all sorts of physical manifestations from chasing and really not loving yourself and
Yeah.
living life the way it's meant to be lived.
Right. Yeah, that chasing that thing. And you had mentioned before, I've heard you say it before, even when you did manifest something, you didn't enjoy it because it wasn't big enough.
No. I would manifest a little something, and it was as if I had shiny object syndrome. And I'm very, very serious. I would manifest something. There was no appreciation, no gratitude. And I think, well, this is great, but this really isn't what I wanted. And I'd never stopped to savor what I manifested. It was just on to the next thing, on to the next thing. So it was forever a chase, perfect example. If I saw a penny, I would think, well, that's a darn penny. What can I do with a penny? Forget a penny. I want to be a millionaire. I want millions of dollars. I had no appreciation. It was just a total closed mindset with no appreciation. So anything I manifested, I just in my sarcastic way think, well, that's great, but this isn't what I wanted. And it's that mindset that really stops your flow. And when we think about being in that place cut off, life is supposed to be like a river and just kind of flow. And, you just get in that flow and you just go with it. Well, if you're cut off from that flow, and it's like you're going upstream.
Yes. Right? Yeah.
And you have no appreciation, you're going against the flow. And you're pretty tired. And if you see a little stick or something come along, you're like, oh, that's just a stick. And I mean, it's a bad place to be in.
Right? And
totally.
yeah, totally. And when you were sharing that story, I was reminded of something in our work together. It was, you even, I think, had that in the beginning of scripting, right? It was like, we created this amazing life. And then all of a sudden it was like, oh no, I got to script this instead.
Right.
And it was this big day, and I was like, what happened? But until you said that, looking back at it, like that is, I mean, I knew then that's what happened, but we can even, I want to highlight that, because you can, even when you get into the manifesting work and you're doing it, right, the actual work, so many people are still chasing even in that work. And I think in the beginning you were totally doing that.
I was totally chasing, and I had to learn how to relax.
Yes.
I had to learn how to self-love. I had to learn how to be in the flow. I had to learn how to know, you know what, I don't know how it's coming, because I had been the one for umpteen years that had been the detail-oriented, here are all the details, and this is how this is going to work.
Yes.
So I had to learn to release all of that and say, you know what, I don't know how it's going to work, but I know it's going to work, and it's going to be great. Okay. It may not be, this exactly, but it's going to be something so darn good when it comes. It's going to be awesome. So learning to release all of that was huge for me.
Yes. And I remember when you started doing it with your kids.
Yes.
Right. And you were like, we're going to go have a fun day, and there's no plan.
Yes.
And you want to talk about how freeing that was, or what that felt like?
It felt so freeing, because I had been the one, my personality had been up until that point to schedule every single minute of everything. So when I started saying, hey, we're going to go skating, we're just going to go. At first they kind of looked at me like, are you serious, Mom? You're gonna what?
Yeah.
But it almost felt like, the only way I can really describe it is if someone just lifts something off of you, okay? And now you are all of a sudden living in the moment, okay? And you're having fun and you're laughing. But at first, I was like, yeah, we're going to go skating. We're just going to go to the movies, because I had never been a really, what's the word? A really adventurous person. Okay.
Uh-huh.
And so this summer has been amazing. We've had lazy days. We've done day at night and, had pancakes at night and had morning at night and watched movies all night. But it's just the freedom. You know what? It's summer. It's good. There are no rules. We just make them up as we go. And that's really what it's all about, is enjoying the present moment.
Mm-hmm. On a scale of 1 to 10, how much more do you enjoy your life now? Well, how much were you enjoying it when you're in the chase?
0.
0?
I wasn't enjoying it. I had a lot to be thankful for,
mm-hmm.
but truly I didn't even realize what I had.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
I had a lot to be thankful for, but I wasn't stopping to smell the roses. Now I stop and smell every rose. I enjoy my family. I enjoy me. I enjoy time with my family, time without my family.
Mm-hmm.
And it just makes everything so much better.
Yes.
Because you really savor it and enjoy it. Recently, I went to a restaurant and I just had a nice lunch alone, and I put my cell phone in airplane mode, and I just kind of head and watched the people go by and, ate my food. But several years ago, instead of doing that, I would have been playing Candy Crush on my phone. Okay. Yep. And I would have been so disconnected from that experience. But I also would have been saying things to my friends like, gosh, I wish I could go to upscale restaurants for lunch. But when I got there, I didn't enjoy the experience, if that makes sense.
That makes so much sense. And I think that's part of what ties into that chasing, right? That's why we keep chasing, because you didn't stop and enjoy the experience. So you had to chase it again and again and again to get there.
Right. Being in that chase mode, you lack appreciation.
Mm-hmm.
You don't recognize what you have right now.
Yeah.
And I know every person has something to be thankful for right now. But I was in a space of wanting a different job, chasing different jobs, but I had no appreciation for the job that I had.
Mm-hmm.
And as I began to recognize, you know what, I have this and I have this and I have this and I have so much to be thankful for. And I even started writing all those things down and why I was thankful for them. It just puts you in a better space and it opens you up.
Yes. Love it. And so I want to talk a little bit about the self-love piece, because one of my favorite things that I ever got to witness live and in person with you, you were at a VIP day at my house, and the photographer walked in to do a photo shoot of you. And she said, "You are gorgeous." And you said, "Thank you." And I remember like her reaction was, "Wow, and you're really good at taking a compliment," because normally when she would say that to someone, they would deflect it, right? And you said the most awesome thing, "I've learned it's okay to be fabulous."
Yes.
And I love that. And you want to talk about what a difference that makes in your life?
It makes a difference. For years, I spent my life chasing. And when I did receive a compliment or when someone did recognize something I had done or compliment me, I would dim my light. And I would say, oh, thanks. It's no big deal.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's not a problem. And I could never just simply say thank you. But I've grown to learn when we dim our lights, we don't serve the world. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody has a light that has to shine really, really bright. But when you put a cover and dampen your light, the world can't see your light. So by me saying thank you, I'm being a good receiver,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm allowing my light to shine. And the more my light shines, the more others will see my light shining, and I'm serving the world. And I will tell you, I used to think, oh, she's so arrogant. She brags about her vacation in Timbuktu or wherever.
Mm-hmm.
But really, it was my perception of what she was saying. Okay.
Yeah.
Looking back on it, it wasn't necessarily that the person was bragging. She was allowing her light to shine. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And now, I'll use your trip to Tuscany as an example. By you going to Tuscany and doing the work that you did, that inspired me to really look at Italy and wow, let's see what's there. Well, had you not allowed your light to shine, I would have never thought about Tuscany.
Mm-hmm.
I would have. So, yeah. So there's something to be said about being a good receiver. We don't serve the world when we aren't good receivers and we don't allow our lights to shine. And a lot
So
being women, we're often told, just give. But really you have to be able to receive as much as you have to be able to give.
Mm-hmm.
And the better you receive, it's kind of like an ATM. And I always tell my children this. In the evenings, I tell them, okay, mommy's going to restore. I'm going to rejuvenate and restore. And so typically every evening I take a hot bath and have a glass of wine. And that's my time to just love on myself and read a book and just kind of do me. Okay.
Yeah.
And so during that 30-minute time period, they know, don't bother mommy. But it took me working with you and realizing the value of self-love because I can't give what I don't have.
Right.
So as I read your Manifest 10K or whatever book I'm reading, that's pouring into me.
Mm-hmm.
That's filling me with good stuff. And then I can come out and open my door and I can give to my family. I can, write a blog post. But when I'm in a space of nothing and I'm empty, I can't give my best.
Nope. No, right?
No, not at all.
No, absolutely not. I love that. It's so important and it's so key to living in the place of not chasing, in the place of receiving and being open. It's so important. So one of the things I want to ask you, because it's maybe one of my favorite stories, but I love how it all came together and worked out, is, was it easy for you to invest in yourself?
Initially, no. Because when you don't love yourself, you don't feel as if you're worthy. You don't feel as if you're deserving. I can remember I was sitting at Sonic, and I will never forget this. And I was talking to you, and I thought, oh my gosh, I've never invested this much. Oh dear. And I felt like I was having a panic attack.
Mm-hmm.
And you were just very calm, and you said, now in the time. Because clearly on the other end of the phone, you could hear me having like an emotional breakdown. But again, if I'm starting from a place of stress and worry and breaking down, I can't maximize our time together because I'm thinking about, oh my goodness, I really did this. But once I really wrapped my mind around, I'm worthy of the investment. I'm worthy of this investment and so much more. Okay.
Yes.
It was very easy, but that was a process for me to realize I don't have to do anything to earn being worthy just because of my being.
Mm-hmm.
I'm worthy of it. But that took me a bit to really embrace that and grasp. I don't have to earn my worthiness. Okay.
Yes.
Once I start working with Cassie, there isn't a, earn your keep thing. Okay.
Yeah.
My being is enough for me to be deserving to work with her. And as I start working with her, it's okay. But once you recognize your worthiness, once you recognize how much loving yourself is impactful in your life, and often as women, we put our kids, our husbands, our careers, we put everything in front of ourselves. And I would always say to myself, I give so much and I get so little. I give. But I wasn't even positioning myself to receive.
Yes.
But once you position yourself to be able to receive, my goodness.
Right?
Oh,
it was like
you receive. The floodgates of receiving will open.
Yeah.
But if you're giving, and the other thing, once you know you're worthy of receiving, you begin to set up healthy boundaries. And you say, you know what, kids? You know what, husband? The next 30 minutes are for me. And I promise you, your house won't burn down, okay? The ambulance won't come to your house.
Yes.
But you have to realize you are deserving of that.
Mm-hmm.
And until you do, you will give. Because as you taught me, the universe is not going to give me any more than I give myself. If I don't give myself crazy love, you can't expect anybody else, the universe to, it only responds to, it mirrors back what we give ourselves.
Yes, absolutely. Every time.
Every time.
Yeah. Yes. I love that you're sharing this because it's so big. And I think, I'm going to ask this because I'm curious about it. All those times you were investing in MLMs and you were just, kind of, in my mind, I have this visual of you just like throwing money, like at the casino,
Literally.
right? Literally, like
Oh.
here's 400, here's 300, right?
Mm-hmm.
And while that was all money, I think that was easy, but I think there was you definitely went through an internal thing when it came to actually investing in yourself versus investing in like chasing something.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what? Investing in yourself for me was a little bit more difficult.
Mm-hmm.
Because if someone told me, it almost became just something to do, and there wasn't a value on it. Someone would say at one of the meetings, oh, these purses are going to be the next latest, greatest thing. And, get in now. And we're in pre-launch. Well, now I know I don't have to get in at pre-launch. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I create a manifest. I can come in on the beginning, middle, and end. Okay.
Yes.
I also know that when you look at people that are successful, even though they work their businesses, they also take a lot of time and take care of themselves. And what I've found is as you take care of yourself, okay,
Mm-hmm.
it just makes your business life flow a little bit better. Okay. Because when you come to, work on your business or do something, you're not coming from a place of, I'm so tired. I'm going to do, and you should do what you love. and I preach this all the time. I have a 17-year-old daughter, and she's looking at colleges and, deciding on her career. And so she keeps telling me, Mom, I'm just not sure. When I tell people I'm undecided, they're like, you're undecided. And I said, listen, if they want to major in something because of the money, you let them do that. But if you major in something that you love doing and you do it and you're passionate about it, I promise you, the universe will make space for your gifts.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But if you're chasing the money, being a doctor or, zookeeper or whatever it is, you're not going to enjoy it, and you will still be on the chase. And so whether we call it the chase or not, when you think about people in their careers and they're burned out and they hate getting up, going to work, more than likely they went to school to do something because they saw dollar signs. It's all from a lack, not having enough mentality. Mm-hmm. But when you're grounded, when you love yourself, when you know what, I am more than enough.
Yeah.
I want to be fabulous.
Uh-huh.
And you recognize I'm worthy. Okay. Things happen in your lives. You catch great sales. People just call you and, want to offer you opportunities. But when you're always in lack, what are you going to get? More lack.
Yes. Yes. That's so true. So it's huge.
Yes.
Awesome. And so what is the advice that you would give somebody who's feels stuck, frustrated, like they've tried everything. They're just keep banging their head against the wall. When they're listening to this, they realize they're chasing. What's the one piece of advice? If you could just give them one thing, what would you tell them?
The one thing I would say is stop. Life is not supposed to be a chase.
Mm-hmm.
There's an ebb and a flow to life. And once you get in the flow, it becomes easy.
Yeah.
We were told to work hard, okay, and go to school and get that degree. And I'm not knocking education, but when we think about working hard, I promise you, Cassie, writing a blog post is like pretty cool to me, and I like to write.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's not hard work for me. But stop wherever you are. Fall in love with you, not your kids, not your husband, not your employer, and take baby steps. Rome wasn't built in a day. Just stop for 5 minutes and make space for you in your life.
Yeah.
Drink a glass of water, turn your cell phone off, and just stop. And as you begin to take those baby steps, you'll find this is really who I am. You'll begin to find your own identity, your purpose, your passion. But it's grounded in loving ourselves.
That's the magic.
That's it. And I think that's the one thing most people don't do.
Mm-hmm.
They do.
I would agree.
Self-inflicted self-torture.
Yep.
I'm going to sacrifice. I'm going to just work these 80 hours a week and work this overtime. And they think once they do all of that, there'll be some like rainbow or some gold.
Right? Someday it's magically going to appear, right?
Right. But as I always remind myself, if you don't enjoy, I think of life kind of like a vacation.
Mm-hmm.
So I always, as we're packing, I tell my kids, pack all the things that you're going to need so that as we're on our way, you can have a good time in the airport. You can listen to your music. You can write in your journal. You can sip on your Starbucks. If you don't enjoy the steps on your way to your vacation or destination, how do you think you're going to get there and it's going to magically, be different?
Right.
if you're bickering all the way there and you're fighting over money and you have a flat tire and your kid is sick and, you're taking this road trip, how do you think when you get there, more money's going to appear?
100% agree.
If you don't love yourself on the way, chances are you aren't going to love yourself once you get there.
That's true. And then you won't enjoy it.
You won't enjoy it at all.
Yeah.
It'll just be more of the same.
Yes. Oh, I love it. So just wrapping up, and I would love for you to tell people where they can find out more about you, the fabulous Lynn Owens.
Thank you. You can find out more about me at www.allowspacenow.com. And I would love for you to reach out to me if you have a question or a comment. My website will launch August 1st. Yay. And I'm super excited, but thanks to my journey working with Cassie, I'm so thankful. I am so thankful to you, Cassie Parks.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for being here and for sharing your story and really for being brave. Like, I think the key, most people don't love themselves, and it's the brave decision to invest in yourself and to love yourself and to do the work that you've done over the last 18 or so months. And so just thank you.
Oh, you're kind. Thank you. You're welcome.
And thank you for sharing here. And thank you all for listening. And you can find out more about Lynn at allowspacenow.com. Thanks for being here, and I'll talk to you next time.
Thanks for joining us on The More Money Show. To learn how to attract more money into your life, go to your favorite book retailer and order Cassie's book, Manifest $10,000.